sorry.
I just want to make sure I understand, because it's fairly basic. I mean, are there some cabinet departments that you say Congress could just take over? Department of Veterans Affairs, Department of Education, they think, well, experts can do a better job of it. And so we're going to say there is now an agency, the Agency for Education, and it will be run by, whether it's a multi-member group or not. We think it's important for Congress to have greater control over education. So we're creating this new agency, and its authorities will be everything that the current Department of Education has, except it will be run by a commission, and they can only be removed for cause. Is that all right?
Yeah, I think that it is probably within the realm of possibility for agencies, yes, Chief Justice Roberts, and the constraint historically has been that these types of determinations have been made through a process of political accommodation between Congress and the President, and over the course of more than 200 years, we have not seen.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but sometimes that accommodation is greater than in other times. I mean, we have situations, let's say, where the Congress, both houses, are controlled by one party, and the President is of the same party, and they may decide that the government would be structured better than by taking over these entities. And so which departments could Congress impose a multi-member commission instead of a secretary?
Yeah, so if you're
What happens when Congress decides, we think we can run this better? Can lawmakers step in, redesign the federal government, and replace cabinet secretaries with powerful commissions that don't answer to the president? This isn't a hypothetical, it's a real constitutional question, asked directly and answered carefully. Let's break it down. Picture this moment. A justice leans forward and says essentially, this seems basic. Congress creates departments, so why couldn't Congress take one over? The Department of Education. The Department of Veterans Affairs. Congress decides, we'll replace the secretary, we'll install a multi-member commission, they can only be removed for cause. Simple question. Is that allowed? The response is cautious but revealing. Yes, in theory, it might be possible. But that answer comes with a massive constitutional warning label. Because for over 200 years, these decisions haven't been made by force. They've been made by political compromise. Congress pushes, the president pushes back, and government structure emerges from that tension, not from domination.
Yeah, so if you're asking about which ones could be converted today, I think it's probably a pretty small universe in terms of the numbers that could be wholesale transformed as they are currently constituted. Why? Because it appears that the vast majority of executive departments wield at least some powers that this court would deem to be conclusive and preclusive, including under the standard that this court enunciated.
Well, how are those? I'm sorry. Keep going.
Including under the analysis that this court set out just last term in Trump v. United States, where at pages 620 to 621, the court explained that the president does have a conclusive and preclusive authority with respect to certain criminal investigations and prosecutions, and that informed the court's determination about whether the acting attorney general was subject to at-will presidential removal. It turns out that the vast majority of these executive departments do have some kind of criminal investigative authority, including armed law enforcement agents authorized to make arrests. Now, that's a significant bucket. You probably have
Then the real question lands. If Congress and the president are controlled by the same party, could they just restructure departments at will? Which departments could be converted today, replaced wholesale, no secretary, just a commission? The answer, very few. Here's why. Most executive departments don't just write policies, they investigate crimes, they enforce laws, they carry badges, they make arrests. And once criminal authority enters the picture, everything changes. Because the Constitution gives the president conclusive and preclusive authority over criminal prosecutions. That power can't be shared away by Congress. The court made this clear in recent decisions. When an agency touches criminal investigation or prosecution, the president must be able to control it, including the power to remove leadership. No commission, no insulation, no workaround. That's not politics. That's separation of powers. And here's the kicker. Most executive departments fall into this category. Justice, Homeland Security, Treasury, and many others. They all wield enforcement power, which means Congress can't just repackage them without crossing a constitutional line. So, yes, Congress has power, but not unlimited power. and when enforcement, arrests, or prosecutions are involved, the Constitution draws a very bright line. This exchange isn't just legal theory. It's about who ultimately controls the power of the federal government and who must remain accountable to the voters.